Hey everybody, Joy here. It doesn't matter what day it is. This is just an introduction to the longest zipper tutorial you're ever going to find. I talk too much, I show too much, in my opinion. But if you're somebody who doesn't know anything about putting a zipper in, hopefully this will help you. I call it over and over a metal zipper. It's not a metal zipper. It's a normal polyester zipper with metal ends on it. So the metal I'm referring to is the metal at the top and the metal at the bottom, and in between it's polyester, okay? So as I start talking, calling it a metal zipper, just erase that from your brain, okay? But I think everything else I told you is okay. And hopefully those of you who have never put a zipper in before won't feel so intimidated by it, because honestly it's easier than putting in buttons and buttonholes. So it's going to start right here, and please forgive all my oopses in it, okay? I'm going to show you how I put in a zipper. This is a maxi dress. This is the center back seam of the maxi dress. I'm going to put this zipper in it. This is not an invisible zipper. So a regular metal zipper, it's 20 inches. Okay? And I'm going to put it in the center back of this dress. And you can see my dress has a curve here in the center back where my waist is. This zipper, there's a mark here. There's always a mark on your pattern where the zipper starts. This is a 20-inch zipper, or it just happens to go to that notch, one or the other. Start at the top. They give you about a 5/8 inch little start here at the top. I come down a little bit from that. I like it to come down a little farther, about a 1/4 inch. So you've got more room to sew around those little metal teeth there. Okay? Then you find where the bottom of your zipper comes to. All right, so mark where your zipper ends, right there. Okay? Now, this next part that I'm going to show you, I learned from the famous, most bestest zipper teacher how to put her in her, Sandra Betzina. You always, especially, this is a stretch cotton sateen. So I especially don't want any stretch going on when I'm putting this zipper in. But even if it was cotton and it didn't stretch, if it was knit, I definitely would do this. I cut a piece of interfacing, lightweight interfacing, because this is lightweight fabric. My interfacing isn't long enough to go down to my pin. I used the scraps for this, so I just cut extra pieces. Okay? So step number 1 is line this interfacing up with the edge of your fabric here. Sticky side down. Line it up. Make sure you cover up the whole length that your zipper is going to go in. Okay? So there's the pin. So I will cut it where the pin is, and I will press this down. This is iron-on interfacing. I will press it down 1 inch wide, because you're going to sew your seam 5/8 inch wide. So you want your interfacing to go a little bit past that way and past this way. So it covers up that area and keeps it from stretching when you get to the final step and you're top stitching this on the right side, and you don't want it all crinkling and wrinkling and crunching up, okay? So that's the first thing you do. There's the rest of my interfacing for the other side. Remember, if the envelope says you need an 18-inch zipper, but you only have a 16-inch zipper, or you only have a 22-inch zipper, it doesn't matter. Put in the zipper just as long as it's long enough to get down to about your waist so you can get in and out of the dress. But 2 inches longer, I wouldn't put one shorter unless it was a little bit. If you're short, if you're petite, then you could get away. If it called for 18, you could use a 16. But you're not going to use a 7-inch or a 9-inch, you understand? But If you have a 30-inch zipper, that's too long, but any zipper that's too long, you can cut to the exact length that you need, okay? So, this is part one of how to put in a centered zipper application of a regular metal and polyester zipper. I'll be back for step two. All right, let me show you what exact zipper I'm using, because you know I bought some from Amazon a while ago. They're totally different zippers. Those are invisible zippers. This is not invisible. This is this kind of zipper. Okay? That's what kind of zipper it is. Coats & Clark. Polyester. All-purpose zipper. That's what kind it is. It's not the length of this green one, but that's what kind it is. In every zipper package, there is this little card. Now, in the zippers you get from Amazon, there's no directions. Forget that. There's no directions. You have to look up how to do an invisible zipper, and we'll do that another time, because I did not have a navy blue invisible zipper that was long enough. So, this little instruction card is in every zipper. It's very well written, very detailed. You all can, I use it. I put in 1,000 zippers. I use it every time. One side is for a centered zipper, where the fabric folds over both sides of the zipper. The other one is for an overlap. It's called lapped application, where there's just one piece of fabric and it folds over the whole zipper. Okay? So, lapped and centered right here on this card. You know what else they give you on this package? I don't know why they quit carrying these at Hobby Lobby. They're great zippers. This, I don't think it'll show up very much. Let me open this up so you can see. My husband will be here in a couple hours. Ah! It's always so fun. It's nice when you're apart from your husband a little bit, ever so often, you know? Because the homecomings are always so nice. Oh, good luck opening the zipper. All right, let me see, where's something dark? Dark. Let's try this. You see that shape right there? Do you see this shape right here? That is the shape that goes at the bottom of the zipper on a pair of pants. If you're not sure of how you know how to sew straight down, but then you've got a curve into the seam, there's your curve right there. They put it on the package. Did you know that? Yeah. All right. So, you know I ironed the interfacing on. Let me turn this camera down. Here's the top of the dress. Top of the dress. Here's the bottom of the dress. This is the center back. The directions tell you to baste the seam together. Can you see here? I have sewn the seam together 5/8 inch. I don't think the lighting is very good here. There, I think you can see it. You see my dark stitching? That's at 5/8 inch, and this, the bottom of the zipper goes here. I marked it with this pink line. This is basted from the bottom of the zipper, where this little metal doohickey is at the bottom of the zipper, not at the bottom of these tails, at the bottom of that little doohickey. It's basted all the way to the top, the full length of the zipper. Then when you get to the bottom of the zipper, you stitch it with a regular stitch the rest of the way, because this part's not going to have a zipper in it. It's going to stay like that forever until you give it to Goodwill in 10 years, okay? So, you baste it from the bottom of the zipper to the top. Then, let's look at the card and see what it says to do next. It says to clip the basting every 2 inches and press the seam open. Use a zipper foot for all steps. Keep the tab turned up for neck or skirt applications. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is press this seam open the whole way up and down. I am not going to clip parts of the basting. I don't do it. I don't think it's necessary. I have never had a problem getting the basting stitching out. Let's hope this won't be my first time. You know, when you've been sewing for 50 years, easily more than that, some of these things you learn. I know Viv does too. She says, oh, I don't do that, I don't do that. And you can learn. You get good. You get good with your fingers, and you get good with knowing what's going to happen next, and you just can omit a step now and then. The patterns nowadays are so sorry on their directions. What kind of iron do I have? Rowenta Perfect Steam. They last about a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. But I love to have a steam iron that steams. I think I bought a 3-year extra warranty on this one. You know, they sell you those warranties, then you never can find them, and you never remember that you got them. Okay, the seam is pressed the whole way. All right, let's see what the card says to do next. Work on the inside of the garment. All right, so we're not going to work out here because that's the right side. We're going to work on this side, the inside of the garment. With bottom of zipper opening away from you. Bottom of zipper opening, that would be down here at the bottom, away from me. With bottom of zipper opening away from you, extend the right seam allowance. Place right zipper tape face down on seam allowance with bottom stop at marking and coil next to the seam. Pin. All right. You know what? I don't pin. I don't pin. Why don't I pin? Can anybody guess why I don't pin? Raise your hand if you know. You, lady in the back. Why don't I pin? That's right. That's right. Because I've got steam a seam. All right, so we're going to mark down here, right here, so I can see it. That's the bottom of my zipper. So, we are going to open up the seam allowance. Work on the inside. Extend the right seam allowance. Open the zipper. Okay, so when it says bottom of the zipper opening, it means this. This is your zipper opening, okay? The bottom of the zipper opening away from you, extend right, the right seam allowance, okay? So you have to understand if they're talking about the zipper or if they're talking about the garment, okay? So I've got my seam pressed real good. So there's your right, ouch, seam allowance. All right, then it says open the zipper. The zipper is open. Place the right zipper tape face down on the seam allowance with the bottom stop at the marking. All right, this is the right zipper. It's upside down, face down. It has to be face down or your zipper will be inside your dress. Now that's pretty obvious. You know, somebody's gonna have to stick their hand inside your dress to unzip you. That'd be uncomfortable. Okay, so you put it right here. You butt the teeth. You don't put them on top of the seam allowance, you butt them up to it. So they're next to it, like this. Next to. Touching it, right up to it, but not on top of the seam allowance, touching it. Okay? You start up here at the top, and you put it in there the whole way down. Now I'm going to tell you what, guys. This steam-a-seam, you guys have got to buy half a dozen boxes of it. It's wonderful for zipper applications. So instead of me putting that down there and trying to sew it, I am going to put, now you gotta make sure you put it on the right place. So I'm gonna put that right there. I know that the one facing me is where I'm gonna put this tape. And you put this tape on this sucker and you iron it on. And then you just thank the Lord that somebody had the idea to invent this. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay? So you have your steam seam on there. Iron it on. Why aren't I ironing it on the other side? I don't think you need to on the other side, but we'll find out in a minute. We'll find out, because you're going to zip it up and then sew it and do some other stuff, so it may be one piece. But this makes it so easy. So easy. Alright, so we're taking the paper off. I hope you guys can see. You know I don't have a camera boy, a cameraman, a camera girl. I don't have a camera nothing. Okay. And we're going to, I move it down a little bit, like I said, off of that top. Now I've made this dress before, so I know it fits me. Otherwise, I would be trying this on and making sure I don't need to change a bunch of stuff before putting this zipper in here. Okay, so I'm butting it up to, it's upside down. Remember, it makes sense. The zipper has to be on the right side. Your zipper is going to be zipped and unzipped from the front of the dress, not the back. So you have to have the zipper guy, you have to have it face down. See, and especially when you have this curve here, oh my gosh, the zipper just fits right into it. And you know that my, whatchamacallit's on there. My interfacing's on there. Alrighty. We are butted up to, but not through, and not over. Alright. Now that's on. That is on. It's not falling off. It's there. It's staying. So when I go over to the sewing machine to stitch, and I hope I got the right, I did, I'm going to stitch this band down. Where do you stitch it at? Doesn't really matter, just someplace, maybe a 1/4 inch in. I kind of line my foot up against the teeth and I'm out here like a 1/4 inch and I just sew it down. Okay? It says here, place right zipper tape face down on seam allowance with bottom stop at marking and coil next to seam pin. I'm not pinning, I just steam seamed it on, it's there. Starting at bottom of zipper, machine based right zipper tape in place through the zipper tape and seam allowance only. It says to start at the bottom of the zipper. So I will be back after I get that sewn on all the way down that one side. And I'm sorry about the light, guys. I'll be back as soon as I get it sewn all the way down that first side of the zipper that I have glued on with steam seam. Okay, zipper foot on. Zipper foot, zipper foot, zipper foot. Remember to put the zipper foot on, not the invisible zipper foot, the regular zipper foot that comes with your machine. All right, so you know I glued it on. Now I have sewn that side on. You can see back here, there's an extra row of stitching where I sewed down that side of the zipper. So now it says to zip the zipper up. This is easy, you guys. It's so easy. I have sewn on one side of the zipper to one side of the seam allowance. Now I am going to zip it up. Let's turn you down. I'm going to reach underneath and zip it up. Ta-da! Now this is when you can determine. It even tells you if you want to sew down the other side of the zipper to this seam allowance over here. See, these are loose. These are still loose over here, but this is all connected. So it's up to you if you want to sew this other one down. But even the directions don't tell you that you have to do that, okay? We have zipped the zipper up. You've determined whether you want to sew this other side down. I've determined I don't. It's not going anywhere. You press it. Make sure everything's flat. Then all you do is you turn it over. Look how nice it looks. And you're going to have to mark on the front. That was so super easy what we've done so far. You're going to have to determine on the front where that little doolally is that stops the zipper. So I'm going to stick a pin through the front, and then I'm going to know, because this is a print, that it's right there. It is right there. So if I sew right across this, I will miss that metal. Your needle hits that metal thing, you got a broken needle, messed up timing, and everything else. You make sure you don't hit that metal thing, because what we're going to do, since this is centered, what's the difference between centered and lapped? Since this is centered, we're going to sew all the way down one side, come across the bottom, and we're going to sew all the way back up. Okay? If it was a lapped zipper, we would only have to sew across one side and up one side. Okay? I don't know why I chose to do a centered one, but I did. They're both nice. I like them both. Centered just seems more even to me, I guess. Okay? So, how do you know how far away to sew from the seam line? You get your little card out again. Your little card. And it says, for top stitching, change to regular stitch length, spread the garment flat, and work on the outside. Duh. Mark bottom of zipper with the pin. See? Begin at seam and stitch across the bottom and up side of zipper. Begin at, oh, I know what it means. What it means is, let me see if I can mark it for you. Oh, nothing shows up on dark blue, you guys. Let me see if I can do it with some white chalk for you. Of course, you have to have white chalk. Let's try pink chalk. What it means is this center seam right here. That's the center seam. That's in between both sides of the zipper. You start at that is where it wants you to start. So it wants you to come across here 1/4 of an inch and then go up. How do you like the way my chalk doesn't write? Then it wants you to start all over and come over here and come up, stitch all the way up here 1/4 of an inch. So it's 2 steps. Start in the center, come out 1/4 inch, go all the way up. Start in the center, go out 1/4 inch, and sew all the way up. Okay? Now, it gives you a tip. It gives you a tip. The tip is to take some 1/2 inch tape and put it on the center seam and center it. Eyeballing. I don't know if it's in the exact place or not. You can see through this tape, you know. Yeah, that works pretty good. Okay, so you see the tape? So 1/4 inch is this way and 1/4 inch is this way. 1/2 inch tape. Great idea. Yeah. Now, something that's really a pain and hard to get around is the top of the zipper. So what I do is I usually try to buy a longer zipper, but I didn't have one today. If you buy a longer zipper, you can leave this top of this zipper, the pull tab, you can leave it floating around up here above. It can just be up here out of your way. And you can do all of this stitching, and then you can undo the basting in the middle of that seam, and then you can pull that zipper down to where you want it to be and cut it off. And then you can tack it at the top so the zipper won't come unsewn. And that way, being a perfectionist like me, you can get both sides super even. Otherwise, you have to kind of jump around that part up here, and I don't like the way that looks. So, what I'll do is I'll sew up to it and quit, sew up to it and quit, open up the seam allowance, zip that tab down, and then I'll do the top by itself. Only because it's me, and I'm so picky. There. Okay, there's the 1/2 inch tape. How easy is that? So we're going to sew across and up. We're going to come back, go across and up. With a zipper foot and then I will be back. I have sewn up both sides of this tape. It works wonderfully. I stopped sewing on both sides right here. The top of the garment is up here. The top of the zipper is right here. I quit sewing right here. So I am going to take this tape off. That's easy. Maybe it'll take this pink chalk off of here. I don't like to use pink because sometimes pink doesn't want to come off too good. Now, I want to show you. Look at, here's the zipper right here. Look at how smooth it is. Do you see how smooth that zipper is? No wrinkles, no crinkles, no nothing. There's the bottom of it right here. Right there. And then up both sides of that tape, and look at how flat it is. The most important thing I have taught you in this entire zipper installation is the interfacing. See, you can't even see the interfacing now, but it's there. It's there. And it has kept, see here, the zipper sewn on both sides. Up that tape, right up that Scotch tape. And you can see I've stopped. See, I've stopped right there before this doohickey. I am going to take the seam out and I'm going to pull that down, and then I'll finish sewing the top of that because I like mine straight. I don't like it to come jumping out here all crooked. Okay? So, that's all I'm going to do. And that's how you put a zipper in. Actually, if I hadn't been teaching this to you, I could have done this in 15 minutes. Probably it's only taken me 30 doing it and showing it to you. Okay? And now that I've read the directions, and I remember now how to do it because I haven't put one in a while, I could do the next one without instructions. Easy, 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 easy. Get some interfacing. Get some steam a seam, 1/4 inch. Steam a seam 2 light. Amazon. Okay. Now I told you I was going to open this up before I finish the top. There it is. Well, Joy, we can't see it. What the heck? There it is. I've got the top open. Top is all open. There's the zipper that hasn't been finished being sewn in yet. Here's the seam that was basted. I have a simple seam ripper. Seam ripper. Be careful. Don't get carried away. Make sure once you start it with the pointy part, see, this has a, sorry guys, this has a pointy part and a part with a ball on it. Once you start the stitches with the pointy part, pull the pointy part out and put this little ball in and unsew it. Okay, find a place, put it in very easily, and just clip a stitch or two. There. Put on glasses, have plenty of light. Then, stick the ball part in the hole and just drive it up there. A new seam ripper is imperative. Buy seam rippers when they're on sale. Always, always have good seam rippers. See how easy? I didn't need to clip that every inch. It came out excellently. So now, I am going to zip this zipper down, and I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to continue sewing this line, and I'm going to continue sewing this line straight up. Okay? And then that's it. My zipper will be all done. Isn't it wonderful? Look. Zipper duty. Yes, and here's what it looks like. Let me put, you saw it, I just showed it to you. You guys remember this fun fabric. All right, I'm going to let you go. That's zipper installation, centered application. Bye for now.